we are treated to a showstopper in the sky. So a kayak company out of Rowayton takes advantage of Mother Nature's monthly glory.
Okay, we're gonna get you if you just come in front of me.
First, paddlers gather at Down Under Kayaking at dusk.
And give you a bit of a push.
Okay, good.
Here.
Thank you.
The evening could not be more beautiful as we set off in calm, clear water.
We're heading down the 5 Mile River to the mouth of the river, which goes into the Long Island Sound.
This particular paddle is doable for anyone at any skill level. The guides are more than willing to share secrets for success.
It's supposed to use your torso. And if you really do it correctly, you can almost just have the paddle resting on your thumb.
As we head into the Sound, the sky is the most incredible color. One of those shades you can only see in nature.
It really is about coming out, enjoying, and relaxing.
The sky is dimming as we make our way through the shining water towards a small, uninhabited chunk of land called Fish Island.
You actually can see Manhattan.
We're ready for a rest when we finally reach land, and in no time, the glowing orange moon appears on the horizon. The vision of it rising out of nowhere is truly stunning.
I think my favorite part is just going out and not having to rush.
And if I ever lose my eyes, if my colors all run dry, yes, if I ever...
And we do linger. We stroll the island admiring the gorgeous spectacle. The moon makes the water dance as the Green Ledge Lighthouse blinks below.
For people that get off at 6 to do this is like an extra little bonus.
You just experience, the beauty of being outside on a full moon and just seeing the water just looking amazing.
Almost reluctantly, we get back in our kayaks.
Yes, I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow.
All the while, the sky is getting darker, more serene.
Moon shadow, moon shadow.
The blackness envelops us and heightens our senses. The sound of the waves is melodic. The shimmering moon's shadow is inspiring.
It's almost like meditation. You feel so at peace and you really get lost in it.
Live in the moment and appreciate our place in this enormous galaxy.
There's nothing else there but just you and the quiet and the moon, and it really is breathtaking.
Day tripping in Rowayton.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Sarah Cody, Fox, Connecticut. It's a massive, heavy, noisy relic.
There were about 180,000 steam locomotives in the United States. And of course, that was in the heyday of the railroad era.
Now the steam train rattles and rumbles down very few tracks. And yet in Essex, anyone can sign up to take a drive through history.
It is a whole different experience up in the cab versus riding in a coach. Welcome aboard.
Home study.
This is over 150 tons.
That's crazy. And a 1-hour class are required to take part in your hand on the throttle.
All right, up you go.
Bruce Edgerton demystifies the locomotive by explaining the brake mechanism.
It looks like a speed bump. You see that right there? I do. Okay, come over that bump.
The reverse lever, which is like the gear shift in the car.
Hard.
And the throttle.
Good.
So with Ken as the fireman and me as the excited engineer,
Are we clear, Ken?
We're all clear.
we set off for our 10-mile trip.
Here we go.
The cab is shaky, warm, and windy, nerve-wracking, and completely thrilling.
That was fun.
Instead of looking out a coach window, you're looking ahead from the cab of the locomotive along the boiler of the locomotive, and your field of vision ahead is actually quite small.
Attention never wavers as we signal and cruise through crossings.
Gate should be going down. Going down.
Our Chariot is engine number 3025, built in China and newly restored.
It had been in a fire. It was just a shell of a machine that didn't look hardly like a locomotive, just a big rusted hulk.
It has become part of a small team of locomotives some of which will soon be used to assist Thomas
He's always a joy to have. The kids love the little blue engine.
and delight passengers aboard the new circus train scheduled for July.
Visit with clowns and go to our big top tent.
The regular summer steam train trips bring visitors to the steamboat dock, where we stop
Watch your gauge go to 0.
and put our behemoth in reverse. Believe it or not, we stay that way.
Next crossing coming up is Essex Street again.
Okay. And travel backwards back to the station at 10 miles per hour. The fire, the whistle, the feeling of the train hugging the tracks.
Wow, that was amazing.
That's a good job.
It all adds up to a true adventure along the rails. Day tripping in Essex.
This is out of the realm.
Sarah Cody, Fox, Connecticut.
In my mind, I'm gone to Carolina.
With lobster shacks on the dock and seabirds dotting the shore, this excursion feels like a real getaway.
Told my son it kind of reminds us of North Carolina a little bit.
But this tour is a hidden gem right here on our coastline.
Madison's on that side, Guilford's this side.
Captain Bill Busman skippers the Charlie Moore, a simple water taxi. His business, Grass Island Cruises, is named for a small piece of land,
The Boy Scouts maintain it now.
home to an iconic red shack, a popular spot for photographers.
Anywhere I've gone throughout the state, you'll see that shack in postcards and paintings.
First, he takes visitors into the peaceful, scenic marshlands where trains rumble by in the distance and ospreys wade nearby.
We're gonna get close to one.
Busman hopes people see how important it is to protect this rich area.
The marine life in the estuaries, the birds, aquatic life, is more interesting than out on the shore.
And that's where we head next, to experience a different part of the coast out in the open waters of Long Island Sound, where the wind whips our hair and small waves rock the boat. Damien DeJulian grew up in nearby Branford, and yet he has never experienced the nuances of a neighboring town.
So it's interesting to see the differences. There are differences.
We can see the Faulkner Island Lighthouse in the distance. It garners a lot of attention because it's not widely seen. The public is only allowed to go out there once a year in September.
Busman is gearing up for his favorite season.
September and October are probably the nicest in terms of the drama of that time of year. The lighting, the coloring is just a special time.
Guilford is known for its character and history.
The town green is beautiful with small shops around it, and Guilford's just a great little town.
We like to get out on the water as much as possible.
And you see the sunshine.
He may have Carolina on his mind, but this easy expedition is all about New England, the undeniable charm, the natural beauty.
Especially the coastline, it's pretty neat.
Day tripping in Guilford, Sarah Cody, Fox, Connecticut. This coastal cruise is all about authenticity. It begins at a well-known lobster market in Newport.
City by the Sea, I'd call it.
Features treats made locally in Rhode Island,
Dell's Lemonade, can't forget Dell's.
while passengers relax on a boat that has worked these waters for decades.
People have described it as their own personal luxury yacht.
The Gansett moves slowly, winding its way along a pathway of moorings, just starting to fill up, as tour guide John Hirschbeck points out significant sights.
This is one of the last of the lighthouse ships that actually operated as a floating lighthouse.
Passengers gaze at spots best seen by water, like this beautiful bridge designed by the architect of Central Park.
It reminds you of the Cotswolds in England.
This harbor's storied history is alive at Fort Adams.
12,000 soldiers would be garrisoned there. It's the largest coastal fortification in the country.
And Hammersmith Farm,
Now we're looking at another presidential summer home.
the Auchincloss estate, which was the scene of John and Jacqueline Kennedy's wedding reception.
You visit Newport and you do Ocean Drive, of course, and you visit Bellevue Avenue and all the mansions. But you get on the water and it's a totally different perspective.
Take the charming Castle Hill Lighthouse, for example. Nestled snugly into a cliff of rocks while the massive Pell Bridge looms in the distance.
This immaculately maintained and polished vessel was built in the late 60s as a tour boat. It converted into a lobster boat for many years, and it would drop its daily catch at the Aquidneck Lobster Company, where this tour begins.
This is one of the few areas where boats still come in and unload their catch every day.
The maritime charm mixes with the grandeur of the mansions, representing the unique character of Newport.
The historical component is fascinating in and of itself, but you combine it with the beautiful waterfront, the beaches, the downtown area and shopping, and it just seems to have everything.
I thought the boats were really interesting. I mean, you really did get to see them better than you ever would, you know.
And the America's Cup boats,
yeah,
those were
nice.
great. Yeah.
Face the salty wind and learn about pirates aboard the Providence, or see the tallest mast in the entire world. The changing landscape makes this scenic spot different each and every day.
So a way to experience Rhode Island as it should be experienced.
Day tripping in Newport, Sarah Cody, Fox, Connecticut.